Namaste and g'day all mystical minds. Welcome to my channel. My name is Chelsea Sonka. I'm a Vedic astrologer and this is your full moon in Pisces reading for September 2021. Australian Eastern Standard Time, Canberra. This is happening at 9:54 a.m. Now, I got so much information this month. I have been listening to music this morning, pumping up my energy, getting aligned. I'm going to put out 3 videos this month. So I've got the obviously the full moon reading. I'm also going to put out a practical energy assessment, energy application that you can use for this time so that you can understand what's going on, because I love talking about, what's going on with each of the planets in the signs and the houses, etc., etc. However, we are in such an incredible time on the planet, and I really want to go into detail on that, but make these videos easy to digest so you can check out. I'll put in the link in the description below once that video is uploaded as well, so you can check that out also. And obviously the 12 signs reading so that you can apply it to your own ascendant and moon sign. So for this month in particular, just before we get started, I'm going to pay homage to Jupiter because this month we're in Pisces for the full moon this month, in what is a very special nakshatra, very dear to my heart, and I will explain in a moment why that is. All right, so here we go. Om Devanam Karisinam Kagurum Kakana Sanibam Buddhi Bhutam Triloksham Tam Namami Brihaspatim Om Aim Klim Hum Brahaspataye Namaha. The Guru of the gods and also the rishis, who is like the highest wealth, who is the most intelligent of all beings, to that Jupiter, Guru of the gods, we bow down in devotion. Om, we bow down to the Guru of the gods. Alrighty, let's get into it. So here we go. This month's full moon reading is in Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra. Now, this nakshatra is very special to me because it is my ascendant lord's nakshatra. So it rules so much of my life. I know so much about this energy because I live it. And it feels so connected to my heart. So let's jump in. This month we're in Pisces, signifier for the 12th house, endings, moksha, enlightenment, loss, all these things. And obviously with this axis that we've got going on in Virgo with Mercury in its own sign in Chitra and combust Mars with the sun in Uttara Phalguni. It's just amazing. And then we've also got Venus in Libra, and now Jupiter has gone retrograde back into Capricorn. It's sitting with Saturn and Pluto, and Rahu is preparing to move back into Kritika, but I'll give some notes on that towards the end of the video. So jumping into this full moon we've got in Pisces in Uttara Bhadra. Now it's the 26th lunar mansion. It's within, or completely within Pisces, but within 2 stars of Pegasus and Andromeda. The 2 legs of the bed is the symbolism for this, or the funeral cot. It's also the 2-headed man. So we've got Uttara Bhadra is the 2nd star, and Purva Bhadrapada is the 1st star. So it represents the 2nd head. The 1st head is ruled by Jupiter, and the 2nd head, the one that we're talking about now, is ruled by Saturn. So it's also known as the scorching or the flaming pair. And because it's the 2nd star and it's ruled by Saturn, it's not as intense as the 1st star. It's more about discipline and self-control. So here we can really sense this spiritual warrior energy. There's energies around being able to protect others. It's quite powerful. It also represents the ladder and lucky feet. And when I think about, Aries being the head, the 1st sign of the zodiac, Pisces is the feet. It's the endings, where there's a generous or a charitable energy here and an emphasis on spiritual growth. And I can definitely attest to that with my own life with this particular energy and seeing how it plays out. The deity here is Ahirbudhhnya, the serpent of the deep sea. So the way that I've seen this is that, we're in the water, the ocean. How deep do you want to dive? It's your choice at this time. Obviously we've got, when you think about the scale, you can never go too far out of alignment where you can't come back. It's your choice. Do you want to go into the shadow self, or do you want to go into higher levels of your own reality? Which area of this pool do you want to dive into at this time? And like anything with snakes, they are incredibly spiritual and full of wisdom, but they also have venom at the same time. So you get to choose. Be mindful of that. And when I give these readings, I make sure I remind everybody every single time that it's really important to make sure that you're focusing on coming back into alignment. And that is so much of what this energy is this month. So the bringer of cosmic rain, purifying the self is so important here. It's called Varshodhyamana Shakti, a representation of the kundalini energy, and also the need for seclusion, taking time for yourself at this moment around the full moon to take a step back, reaccount for your energy, focus on notice how the energy of the 3 lower energy centers, or your chakras, whichever word you prefer to use for this understanding, and coming back into the heart is so important at this time. The animal symbol here is the female cow. Cows are female, but you know what I mean? They're incredibly sacred. This is a sacred energy that we're working with. Themes around evolving spiritually, detaching from matter. What's going on outside of you is not real. That's Maya, illusion. What's going on in here? That's real. What are your beliefs? Take account of them at this time. Showing indifference to worldly matters is such a big theme here with this particular star. The motivation is karma or desire. What reality do you desire to experience? Or are you going to allow others' desires to dictate what you are experiencing at this time? It's a warrior energy, as I mentioned before, to defeat and vanquish. Do you want to be Gandhi, or do you want to be a dictator? You get the choice. Do you want to go into the shadow self, or do you want to be your own warrior, noticing that you have your own power and you always have had your own power? You haven't given it away, and you can claim back what you think that you have given away. We all have it. That Saturn delays success but never denies, and that's an energy that works with this one here because it's ruled by Saturn, that it's about patience and sticking to the path even when it seems hard. So knowing what your truth is, when we think about Mercury in Virgo, this energy about service and communication, speech. What are your words at this moment? Take stock of that. So the death of Maya and lifting the veil. And I'm thinking about these themes of, if you've seen The Wizard of Oz, when they get there and they see this little man behind the curtain that's making all these things happen. Start to take stock of what is real for you and what beliefs you've taken on from the outside world that are not true to who you really are. And it doesn't mean that other people's truth isn't their truth, but it's just noticing what is yours and accepting them and their ability to freely express what their truth is, and that you also have that right too. Taking solitude to purify yourself and realign to your spiritual mission and worldly goals is incredibly important here for this energy. When we notice the becoming aware of the shadow energy, it can turn into anger, passion that's misdirected, aggression, but less so than the previous nakshatra. It can be secretive, cunning, or gossipy, lazy, and irresponsible. So you can imagine not taking responsibility for what's going on around you, and for yourself, and also not taking responsibility for what you really want to be experiencing, and just kind of going along with the crowd a bit like a sheep, or potentially not doing anything at all because you just feel so overwhelmed by it. The tendency to gossip or talk about what's going on in an unhealthy manner, and using that firepower that comes in here in an unhealthy way. Just be aware of that at this time, because it's about coming back. Anytime that you notice that you've fallen off, come back into the heart, come back into the heart, come back into the heart. That's the energy this month. That's what you're being reminded to do. So in regards to placements for this month, obviously Jupiter's come back into Capricorn with Saturn, as you can see here. That it's about going back and reassessing. So obviously we're going to have a lot of these themes around world leaders and governments, agendas being laid out at record speed, the truth and corruption and this illusion is going to start becoming reality. So it depends on which timeline you want to be on. You get to decide. You have complete power. If you think that you don't, this message is telling you that you do. You get to decide what is truth for you, or are you feeling powerless and you're going to give it away and just go along with what feels like is being handed to you, because you get to decide. And such an important message, and I'm going to share it in the energy, practical application video that I saw Bashar share something on fear and power, that people who feel the need to control others do it because they feel that they're not in control. To have to squeeze someone, the way that he described it, into a box because it makes them feel safe, because they are in denial, that they're in denial of their own power. And the need to, it looks like they're oppressing power and control, but the thing is that they totally feel like they're out of control. And by you going along with that, because you feel that you have no power or control, it's just this big Maya illusion, and you get to decide, because you have power, your own willpower, your own control of your own life, not of others, but of yourself. So we're looking here about taking back our power. There is no such thing as division. So whenever I say messages like this and talk about, outside of you, what's going on, we are all one. And to not forget that. And again, I'll share this in the other video a lot more. But obviously with this energy, we're talking about how things are starting to unravel. We're awakening to our own power with this particular placement of the moon in Pisces, in Uttara Bhadrapada. That our personal power versus collective power, being clear in our energy. When you think about, you're on the plane, for example, if you feel like you want to help other people with their oxygen mask, but you haven't put your own one on first, you can't help other people because you're going to lose consciousness. So you've got to make sure that you're okay first before you check on others. So it's about realigning your own energy. Check on how you're doing when you're out and about. I'll talk about in the other video about making sure that you surrounding your 5 senses with things that feel good for you. Live in the now moment. There is no future. There is no past. Past memories are creating what is your current reality, and that past is what will create a predictable future. So if you feel, stuck in your energy, go back and send love to all areas of your perceived timeline and come back into the now. It might sound very esoteric for this video, but we're in Pisces, so we're diving deep, everybody. All right, so we go into, I feel that there's more themes around, I've noticed personally in my own life that cryptocurrency is coming up a lot more. I'm seeing different realities, potential opportunities for different forms of communication that are coming together, like other platforms that are freedom speech run, as opposed to, being censored and things like that. So I would love to hear your thoughts if this is resonating as well, or if you have any sort of information that you feel to share, pop it in the comment section below. If you're getting value from this video as well, you're welcome to like it and subscribe, or hit the bell notification so you can see more of my videos also, just before I forget. Obviously, so with the sun in Virgo as well here, we've got this focus on health and healing, new forms of health that are coming out into the world. We can see hot speech that can also come through too. So like I said, there's always a shadow side and an aligned side. You get to decide. So there's discrimination themes that come out with Virgo. Venus being in Libra is great because we're going to have more of a diplomatic approach to everything. But we do need to be mindful about our speech. So I know for myself personally, with being a Mars being my ascendant lord, that I want to be mindful of the way that I use my energy at this time. And for all of us, being mindful of where your own Mars is placed, but use this, the power for self in an aligned heart way. Come back into the heart. If you're walking down the street and something triggers you, come back into the heart. This is the work at this time. With Mars and Sun and Mercury in Virgo, we'll see themes around, getting spiritually disciplined, our structure around our projects. Yet discipline and communication are big themes here that we'll see. You might see controversies going on. Come back into the heart. Come back into what you want to be feeling at this time. What's your preferred reality? And I say that every month, but this is so important right now. We are going through the eye of the needle. Do not get sucked into everything that's going on outside of you. You get to decide what timeline, what reality you want to be in. So that's my reading for this month. Short and sweet. Check out the other 2 videos. I'm going to share the practical energy from this month so that you can get some more information, and the 12 ascendants and moon signs reading so that you can get some more information too. Lots of love, blessings, and light to you. And for always, obviously, thinking of you, you can share comments in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and take care and come back into the heart at this time. Namaste.